Bam! Here we go, KBLX Nation, all over the world. Darnaro Evans, of course, you are in the building, Darnaro. I see Dion. Good morning to you. And welcome, family, to the third annual Women of KBLX Virtual Empowerment Forum. It's actually our first virtual go at it. And before we even start, let me just let you know things are going to be very organic today because we're here, we're together, we're feeling our way through this, but everything feels good so far. Hi, Melba. Good morning. Everybody share this video because we want to just spread the love all over the place. I think everybody needs this, but of course, we put together our offering today with the women of KBLX Nation in mind. Stephen Parker's in the building. Hallelujah! 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 Hi, Keisha. Keisha's Collections is here. Please share the video, family, so that everybody can join in. The more, the merrier. All right. So, fam, if we haven't met yet, my name is Nikki Thomas. I'm your afternoon host on 102.9 KBLX R&B and Old School, 3 to 8, Monday through Saturday, and Sundays from 10 to 3. But I'm also a speaker, a virtual MC, yoga and meditation teacher, and a brand coach. I got notes this morning. This is very formal agenda today. Hi, Arnett. Hi, LaSonia, Artilla, Patrice, and I see Tina. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay. So this is what the Women of KBLX is all about. Self-care, sisterhood, and success, because we heal and transform in spaces like this, ladies. Go ahead and type a 1 if you agree with that. We heal and transform when we are in community with each other. Facts right there, ladies. Facts. Okay. So on the agenda today, to give you just a little bit of a taste of what we're about to do, we're going to talk about love. We're going to talk about education, 5 ways to be a parent champion with my girl, Bay Area educator, Tovy Scruggs. The real wives of radio are coming through. Shay Moore is in the building. I see you, Shay Moore. I see you, Elaine, Janet, Arnett. This is so beautiful. I'm going to get in my feelings before this is over with. I already know. Okay. Also, we have a virtual dating workshop for single people. We're going to talk to the married people and we're going to talk to the single people. And we're just going to have some fun. We're going to have some conversations. We're going to have some mini master classes. And we're just going to expand our connection and our consciousness to each other. I see you, Cassandra and Tammy. Good morning to everyone. This feels so good to be together, right? So I'm here in my comfortable creative space. I hope you've created some space for yourself today. And even if you haven't, we'll help you create this space to heal and transform. Got it? Awesome. I am so ready. I know that you are so ready. But before we go any further, some housekeeping. We've had some major shifts in our company this past week. And I know y'all know this. Okay. So we wanted to let you know what was happening. So we have a statement from our boss, Elroy Smith. He is the program director of KBLX.
Good morning. My name is Elroy Smith, and I welcome you to the Women of KBLX. We would like to take a moment to thank all of the women who have contributed to today's event. Nikki Thomas, Dolores Thompson, Kimmy Taylor. But there are 2 people that I definitely need to acknowledge. They are Sterling James and Miranda Wilson. Due to COVID-19 and the reduction in workforces at many industries, we were affected also. With that said, we want to thank them because you won't be hearing them on the air on KBLX, but from what they have done in the past, we need to say to them, thank you so much. And they are still family, and we wish them well. So with that said, let's begin our program. Nikki, back to you.
Hello, KBLX family. I'm Nikki Shaw, and you know we have to vote. We have the power, and we have to use it. So grab a few friends and let's do it together because every single vote counts. For more details, go to kblx.com.
Ooh, see what I did there? That's Nikki too. That is Chef Nikki Shaw. I mean, she looks like that and she cooks Is it really fair? But we're going to sprinkle a whole lot of inspiration to vote and the power of our vote today, ladies. Just a few reminders here and there. You know what I mean? We got to stay motivated and activated because our vote, that's our voice. That's our voice for change. So, just keep your eyes open because we're going to do some work in this area today. We're going to do some spirit work and we're going to do some community work too. All right. So let's go ahead and create that space that I just talked about a few seconds ago. We're going to pause. We're going to get settled. We're going to get grounded and get ready to connect and receive. So number one, I appreciate everyone being here and making time and space for this virtual event. And I just wanted to have a second of some real intentional quiet time on the inside. So sound and vibration, we all know how powerful that is. And we've got some singing bowls this morning. Hallelujah. She is a singer, a songwriter, a massage therapist, an entrepreneur. And today she is going to get us ready to receive the messages of today with sound healing therapy. Here is my New Orleans sister from another Mr. Tanya Freeman.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tanya Freeman from New Orleans, Louisiana. I'm a healer, mystic, and an author. And today I have sound healing therapy meant to ground you and center you for your day. So just take a minute, relax your shoulders, relax your eyes, close your eyes, and go to that healing space as we journey forward into the healing of sound.
I think all my chakras just got activated. I think all of my chakras just lit up. It's amazing what sound can do to bring us back into focus. My girl, Tanya Freeman, type of one if your chakras just got lit up like mine. I know something just happened. Okay. All right. So up next, this is going to be so much fun because we're going to check in with my girl and your girl. Okay. So let me read the accomplishments here. She's a minister, a broadcast instructor and program director at the Oakland School of the Arts. And you see her on TV One's Unsung quite a bit. She is coming to us live from the KBLX studios. Dolores Thompson is here today, family. She's here. How are you, sis?
Good morning. Peace and blessings to you this morning.
Exactly. Peace and blessings to you. This is so perfect. We get to see you behind the scenes, and you're on the radio right now.
Live.
Live. We're live on the radio and live on the internet. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Woo. Well, I'm so glad that you agreed to come and tell us your story today, because this is what the Women of KBLX is all about. You know, letting everybody know that you're not alone with whatever you're going through. So we're still in October. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And, you know, you agreed to share your very personal story. So I'm just going to give you, we already got the mic right there. I'm going to give you the mic. We're going to switch it over to your mic so that you can share with us.
Thank you. So last year, Nikki, I went to Kaiser and I just decided, you know what, let me do the mammogram, because normally I avoid it like the plague. I'm always too busy to check in, and Kaiser can kind of get mafia-ish. They start sending you emails, texts, you know, calling you, and I avoid it. But last year I said, let me go and just get it done. I'm here, you know, to do my annual checkup. And once I got the mammogram done, the nurse asked me to wait. And me and my daughter sat there and we kind of looked at each other like, wait for what? And we got taken into a room. Doctor came in and told me, we've detected something and we're not sure what it is.
Wow.
And my first thought was, okay, when are we going to find out what it is? And I did a couple of tests and found out that I had breast cancer. I immediately turned to my faith. And I honestly didn't even share it with anyone because I wanted to resonate and activate that faith that I knew I had instilled in me, because I'd been feeding on things that would keep me foundationally sound in the midst of a storm. So I went to the doctor, and actually I got told my results when I was here at KBLX. I was on the air.
Oh no.
I was actually on the air. And I got a message from the doctor and I decided, let me call. And when I called him, I said, I'm at work. And he said, well, I need to tell you something important. And I said, yeah, come on and tell me. I got about 4 minutes until I have to talk. And he said, what? And I said, I'm doing a live show. And he said, let me let you call me back. I said, sir, I'm ready. And when he told me, like I said, my faith was activated. That foundation I was ready to stand on. And that's why I think it's super important for us to continue to feed on things that would give life to that faith. Amen. We got to continue to feed life into us. So when these storms come, we're able to stand. And that's what I was able to do. So much so that I didn't even tell my nieces. It was like almost an afterthought by the time I got around to talking about it. And they were all shocked. But you see, the thing that I've learned over the years, Nikki, is what you put in is what's going to come out. And when you're feeding on things that give life to faith, when those storms hit, your foundation is strong. The winds are going to blow. The storm is going to come. But I guarantee you, if your spiritual diet is full and you're constantly feeding, you will be able to stand. And then you can formulate a plan. And that's what I did. And did you know, Nikki, that the death rates have declined by 40% in women due
Mhm.
to early detection?
Right. Right.
Yes.
Right. I see on the internet, I see Ananda Lewis, the former BET host, telling a very similar story. Um, and what I always say is that we're not doing our jobs if we don't tell the whole story about what's going on in our lives, you know? So
Exactly.
it's important that we share. It's important that we have that vulnerability. And it's also important to have that vulnerability so that folks can support, because I don't know, sometimes we get so caught up. We're not aware of what's going on outside. We're not aware of going on what's inside our own bodies, inside
Mhm.
our own spirits. So, checking in right now, where are you in the journey and how are you feeling?
Well, I've had 2 surgeries, and right now
Mm.
I'm just going through, I have to do 5 years of medical treatment.
Wow.
I just did my first annual mammogram since I had my surgery, and there's been no reoccurrence. Thank you,
Mm.
Lord.
Mm.
I am breast cancer free.
Hallelujah.
And yes, feeding on faith, focused on the solution, and formulated a plan, and it's all working out for my good. And I thank you for giving me this platform. I thank KBLX because women need to know that you are not alone in this journey.
Mm-mm.
We do
Mm-mm.
not have to do this by ourselves.
Not at all.
I
Not at all.
definitely want to be someone that uplifts, encourages, inspires, and even edifies you to the next level in your life.
Hmm. This is amazing. This is amazing. Jennifer says you're amazing and beautiful and so encouraging, Dolores. Continued excellent health to you, sister.
Thank you, Jennifer. Peace and
And
blessings to you.
yeah, and you said activate your faith. It's like it activates the love
Yes.
when we tell our stories. It activates that love because as busy as we all are, when we see your beautiful face and hear your beautiful spirit on the radio, it's like, look, we want to love, we want to give the sister all the love we possibly can. So, you sharing this morning again, the sound healing just kind of lit our chakras up. You're lighting up the chakras even more. Thank you so much for sharing. I know that you're busy. I mean, literally, we are live. This is real time. She is on the radio right now. So it's amazing that that you are standing so strong and a survivor, surviving and thriving, sis.
Surviving and thriving. And you know what, Nikki, I want to thank God for placing you in my life
Mm,
because you have been one of the sisters that I've been able to lean on, been able to talk to, been able to share with, and someone that's been able to uplift and encourage me. So I thank God for you, and you keep on keeping on.
thank you, Dolores. Let me tell you something. I'm getting my feelings. I already know it.
Right.
I know. I'm getting my feelings. I feel very blessed to do what I do. We're very blessed. It's not as easy as it looks, though. You know what I mean? The life part on top of doing what we do and just, the shiny pretty. Staying motivated and keeping that faith is some work. It's some work. And we have to remind ourselves of our worthiness all the time. We've got, that's what you've been to me. I'm saying all that to say that because I'll forget so quick. I'll forget everything. And, no matter what is happening, understand that is, you've got a special gift, certainly talented, in the radio language, but also just very talented spiritually. And I give thanks for you. I give thanks for you. So anytime, anytime, anytime.
Bless your heart.
Whew. Let's just take a moment and breathe. Let's just take a
Yes.
moment and breathe, KBLX Nation. Dolores Thompson, she is on the radio right now. Thank you for sharing your story. And if you want tips on early detection, this is what we just finished talking about. Tips, symptoms, things you should know. They're all there for you at kblx.com. Thank you so much, sis.
All right.
Hello, women of KBLX. This is Latoya London. And this year, more than ever, we need to flex our power and vote. Your vote is your voice for your family and for your community. The women of KBLX, we vote, baby. So go to KBLX.com for more details.
I like that. The women of KBLX vote. Hallelujah. We vote, we stick together, we take care of each other. Sisterhood, self-care, and success. Whoo, this is so, let me fluff my hair. So amazing. So amazing. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about love, KBLX Nation. This whole pandemic situation has been tough on relationships. Hallelujah. Tough on relationships. The single people, the married people, everybody. So right now we're going to have a real conversation with the real wives of radio. Vonda Smith, she is a realtor and an entrepreneur, and also the lovely wife of our PD, Elroy Smith, and Roz Schofield, travel specialist and concierge. And she is married to Tony Sco from the Dream Team. All right. So we have got all three of our lovely ladies ready to have. Hello, ladies. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Everybody looks amazing. Oh my God. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to go ahead and just take a seat and listen because Kimmy T, I'm going to give Kimmy T the mic here. And yes, ma'am.
Much. Hi. Hello, Roz. Hello, Wanda.
Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
You guys look great. You guys look great. As a collective, I did the math, and between Wanda and Roz, there are over 50 years of radio kind of marriage experience between the two of you. So there, I mean, in this day and age where, you know, couples have never experienced anything that we're going through right now. You know, when you said your vows all those years ago, you know, you went into it with an expectation that, you know, you and your husband would go to work and come home and get that balance. And in less than a year, you know, Vonda, I remember something that you said. You said, "My life is inside out. My life is inside out." So can you explain what's going on with you right now, being at home with your life inside out?
Oh, things have changed as for so many. In our home, we have 2 middle schoolers from home. My husband works from home sometimes, as well as my 21-year-old son. So it's amazing how so much has changed in a short amount of time. But you know what? We're anchored in our faith. We're anchored in, we ride the wave, because when things are great, we ride that wave. And when things are hard, we ride the wave together.
And Roz, you know, I wake up and work with your husband, Sco, every single day. You know, and he's a stand-up comedian. You had to make a major adjustment with him being at home and not on the road, you know? How did you guys, you know, work that element out when, you know, when you've got your man home all the time?
Well, you know what? I'm used to being with Sco. So even when there was times when he would travel and I would travel with him. So we do spend time together. So that's not like a big to do. And so I would normally get up with him in the morning when he would start his radio show, even though I would go to work. So I was always up with him anyway. So it's not like a big transition because we just still kept doing what we were normally doing, but we just was home rest of the day. So it's just giving him the time to just refocus, you know, thinking about his comedy. And so when he goes back out, he's redoing his set and he's thinking about new material. And so we're trying new things together. So it's been a brainstorming time. We're trying to work on self, So we're taking advantage of this time and just trying to be ready for when he is back out doing stand up. So just trying to, so it's sometimes God has a funny way of making us readjust and get ourselves together. So it's, you have to take it in stride. We take it in stride. So.
And Vonda, you have the kids at the house. What's that been like with the children being home?
Well, you know what is very interesting? I was thinking a while ago how before we spent so much time with people at work, people at school, but what has happened? We're all home together. We wanted to make the most of that. So we've been doing things like Rhonda's been teaching the kids how to cook and clean. The cleaning part's not going too well, but they're learning how to cook. And like my daughter Kendall, she cooks. She does a great job making her breakfast or lunch. And we're just making the most of time together, building memories, because it was the opposite before. We were only home a few hours a night. Now we're home together. So embracing it.
You know, okay, so we've been talking about all the times. So as of last week, the pandemic hit my household. And now my partner is unemployed. He lost his job. You know, when it comes to your partner, especially like a man, not being, you know, being able to be the breadwinner, being able to be, you know, babe, I'm going to work. How do you deal with these times? Because this is brand new for me. I've never been in a situation where my partner has been unemployed until now.
Yeah. Well, I can speak to that because that happened to us a couple times. And you know, it's the thing. We're committed to uplifting and encouraging one another. And that has happened. Just when the other one needs the love, the support, and remembering who they are in this, that it's a job. A job is not who you are. It's so much more. And another job will come, another opportunity will come, but staying committed and lifting each other up in faith and encouragement is key.
Us?
So Roz, we can't hear you. Okay, got to unmute the microphone. Okay. Women of KBLX Virtual Empowerment Forum. I told y'all everything was going to be organic. Okay, there she is. There she is. Rosalind is here. Go for it.
I'm not technically savvy, so please bear with me. That's why I have grandchildren. Because the grandkids know how to work everything.
Right. Go for it, girl.
So I'm sorry about that. So yes, Tony lost his job when we were in Chicago and he was with iHeartRadio. And so, you know, I was a homemaker. I stayed home because, you know, we had the kids were in high school and I took care of them. And, you know, it's a big blow. It's huge, you know, and, you know, we have to, as women, stay prayerful and keep them prayed up and keep them lifted, because for the men, they're going through their own anguish about it. So they're having their own problem dealing with it. So, you know, us being women, we're faithful and know that God is going to close this door and open something else that's going to be better for our lives. And we got to be supportive. And, you know, and it's a tough thing. You just have to love each other through it all, because, you know, we're here, good or bad. You know, if your job is not working, then I'm getting ready to jump in and hold us down and do what I need to do. And we support each other when there's shifts. After 33 years of being married, we done had many shifts. We've had many shifts. And we've had to readjust, rethink it. I'm like, okay, let's don't get upset about this. Okay, now what we got to do? We got to figure it out. And we keep it moving. We keep it moving because you have no choice. You keep it moving. What you gonna, you know, up and die because you lost your job? You have to keep it moving.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So when it comes down to how are you taking care of yourself? I mean, as you know, as the women of the household, there's always that expectation to make sure that, you know, everything is running, you know, like a fine tooth, you know, refined oiled machine. How do you take time for you?
Mom, you going first on that one?
Okay, I can't say I'm great at this. However, I do recognize self-care is, you know, with your health. This is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and making sure that you know, you get those mammograms. That's key. Making sure you have your doctor's appointments, and you know, some physical activity is ideal. Taking walks, that is so important. That's how I kind of also get my mental health. Just, you know, walk. I love being in the Bay Area because I have the ocean and the mountains, and I just see God in that. So I love just being out and having those moments. Do they happen every day? Not quite, but I do start my day in prayer and getting focused that way. And yeah, just, you know, just taking care of this. So like I show up every day as if I am going out the house. You know, that's just for Vonda. So I can feel great about everything. So taking care of my body, you know, wellness, skincare, all that is important. So that's how I take care of me. Roz?
The same thing. Bath time is different, so I'm kind of in the bathtub a little longer. So you know, I have workout tapes throughout the house, and so every now and then I might need to, you know, pop a yoga tape in and do some yoga. Skincare and taking care of your skin yourself is very important, because don't want to let ourselves go. It's not just for ourselves; it's for our partners as well. Because we want them to see us be beautiful. We do. We want them to see us beautiful. And so I just, you know, we don't have a whole lot of moments, and like, you know, taking walks. You know, Tony and I just took a walk last night. It was excellent. We had the best time together. So it's just the little things that we can do. So I'm going to try to get my bike fixed so I can start riding my bike again. So you just got to find the little things, you know, to give you some peace. So.
And for those, you know, who are engaged right now, do you guys have any like just advice for, you know, upping the newlyweds to be that, you know, have sealed the deal and they say, you know, we're going on this journey together? I would love to hear what you guys both have to say.
I definitely advise asking the right questions. I met Elroy and got married just shy of a year. And I know that's only because we asked the right questions. We had people in our lives that helped us, show us. They were great examples of marriage, and they prepared us, not just for the wedding day and, you know, the big to-do, but seriously, this is a life together, and how are you going to manage? I know we thought, oh, you just don't think of the bad things that can happen, the challenges that come, and you got to be prepared to ride the wave with this person, you know, just through it all. And so make sure you ask the right questions. And I know our foundation is faith. And that's so important to us, because I'm not the standard. He's not the standard. God is the standard.
Well, I know I was at Vonda's engagement party, so yeah. But you got to realize, me and Skull, we've been married. I was 19 when I married him. So we were still children. We wasn't even legal yet. So, you know, my parents, you know, had been married, you know, and so I had a great example. We had great example of long-term relationships. So we saw what it looked like. And I think that, Tony saw that, and I think he wanted something. He wanted that. But something, old school ladies don't necessarily talk to you about that stuff. So we had to figure a lot of stuff out, and we had to grow up together. So it's you just figure it out. And so, communication, like my daughter is engaged. So Whitney's going to get married next year. And so the conversations are much more real with her when we're having these conversations, because they're talking about communications. Well, she's calling and saying, well, mom, he's upset. And so communication is key. You have to figure out your communication level. Then you have, it's finances, it's, kids, and it's, all these things is going to come into your life. How are we going to handle those things? And so talking about those things right now, because they're engaged, and then you really need to have very open dialogue about what your expectations are for each other. So,
and
go ahead.
And when it comes to like intimacy, like how do you guys, after all this year, like keep that fire going, like between, I mean, there's so many things now that you're dealing with as married women that wasn't there before, like social media. When you guys got married, social media didn't exist. There wasn't that, opportunity to see somebody that they may have gone to high school with, and you're seeing so many people. So, with the distractions that are out there, how do you make sure that your bond and your intimacy is always just dialed in?
Yeah, I think the important part there is, realizing that the same things that exist now existed forever ago, and are the same reasons why people don't work out. But it's because they get distracted, they lose focus. And I think it's important to dial in on the heart and the commitment and remembering your love story. I think about that all the time. Like, I really feel God blessed me with Elroy. Like, literally, when we met in the end of the night, we came together. It was like nobody else was in the room kind of deal. Yeah. And so I remember that if I'm upset with him. And I remember that. So it's just important to remember your love story, stay connected, dialed in as you both change.
I agree with Rhonda. But I've always liked Scope. I've always liked him. So it's kind of, so we still like each other. So our intimacy, it might not be as, we're getting older. We older people now, but we still like each other. And intimacy is it's such a broad thing. Intimacy is just sitting in the room together, watching TV, walking. So intimacy is such a big thing. It's not just sexual. It's a lot of things. Do you like spending time with that person? And we're finding more things to do with each other, So, you just got to embrace and be open and know when you look at that person and like, what, I really do love you and you really do mean the most to me. Mm-hmm. And that's important for me to keep. Mm-hmm. And so you got to put in a little bit of work and maybe be inventive and, and because you want to keep that love. It's important. You don't want to lose it. You like, what do I got to do? It's important.
Great. So people are giving you props in the comments, saying it is so great that you start your day with prayer. But, remember your love story. And that's what Alice said. Remember your love story. I think that's great advice. Love that, Vonda. God is the standard, not our spouses. So much love coming in. You guys, don't forget that you are the blueprint for a lot of relationships here and across the country. And this was a great little chat. And thank you so much, for taking time out of your busy schedules and busy days. And look, Nikki, there's hope for us non-married people.
Hello, this is the single people side, and that's the married people side over there. Yeah. I'm in my field. Let me tell you something. This has been excellent advice. Roz, sis, you said, I always liked him. Mm-hmm. I liked him. And I think a lot of people get that confused. Like really comes first. Like is the most important thing.
Like is important because when I first met Sco, we were in, I knew of him. And so, I would see him in the hallway at school and
So cute.
You like he cute.
and, we would just pass each other and, friendship, we're friends. He's my friend. He's my best friend. He's my best friend. He's my
I get it. Yeah.
And I like him. When he sees me, he makes me smile. So it's those things. I don't want to lose that. I'm not gonna get emotional about that, but
I love it.
I'm getting emotional, Roz.
But he is.
But that's what it is. It's a little.
He is.
I gotta like.
Friend.
That's your
And
friend.
you don't want to lose your friend. You don't want to lose your best friend.
And the word partnership, I don't know if anybody said it, but I wrote it down when you were talking, Roz. That's the glue, because, especially at a time like this, it's like, this is my partner. We've made a commitment. You could take romance completely off the table. If you've got that partnership and trust, loyalty, that's everything right there.
It's huge. It's huge.
It is. It is. And so Vonda, this is the one I had to write down for you. You said it worked because we asked the right questions.
Yes.
So I took notes. I'm taking notes over here.
Yes. Yeah, I wholeheartedly believe that. I mean, we got great advice from people that had our best interest, and they said the same. They asked us, like, what do you love about one another? How are you going to be committed? Let's look at this. Let's look at finances. What happens if there's trouble with finances? How are you going to approach it? And I mean, it may be a little heady, but it's important because those questions, why do people break up? Finances. Why do people break up? Lack of communication. Yeah. But like Roz said, when you like your spouse, that means everything. Like, love, respect. Oh my gosh, I totally love and respect my husband. I totally just think about, like, I didn't dream this good. Like, most people are like, oh, when I want to get married, I want this. I didn't dream this good. No, he's amazing.
Oh,
my church fan.
But I agree with Vonda because I had no idea that mine was thinking about marriage at such a young age. Yeah. And for some reason I just say it's God, because God clearly felt that me and you need to get together early, so we just go ahead and stop playing and just do this.
I love
it. So how fortunate can I be to have found my spouse at such an early age?
That's a blessing. That's
a blessing.
Huge blessing.
It is. So that commitment is huge to me. It's huge.
I mean, Roz, you've met, Joey's son, Bob. Like, I don't have children of my own, but yet, God put this little 12-year-old guy in my life. And it's like, this gives me that sense of motherhood and joy. Like, God knows what you need, and right now it's not peachy keen. It's not perfect, but we're going to get through this. And you just both are just professionals. The best relationship advice ever.
Oh, see, but you're preaching too, Kimmy T. You said God knows what you need.
Yeah, yes, for sure.
But I think with Vonda, me and her, because even we have a strong prayer-based family around us, like our mothers and women, strong women. You need to have strong women in your life. And we've been fortunate to have strong women in our life when we're down and we need just a little bit of support. And I go to my rock. I go to the rock for support and strength. So you truly do need that.
Beautiful. Thank you guys for sharing. Again, we've been activated. We're activating our spaces today, and we're taking charge and asking the right questions and connecting with people that we actually like. So this has been so amazing. Our Real Wives of Radio and Kimmy T from the Morning Dream Team, Rosalind Schofield and Vonda Smith, you guys look amazing. And I feel better about my whole life now. Thank you, ladies, so much.
Thank you.
Real Wives of Radio. And We got something for the single people too, right after this.
Hello, the women of KBLX. I am Shonda Scott, entrepreneur, small business advocate, and chair of the Oakland African American Chamber. This year, there is so much at stake. We need to use our power and vote. Your vote is your voice, so use it to have a positive impact on your family and community. We know the women of KBLX vote. For more information, visit kblx.com.
Beautiful, beautiful. So like I said, we do have something for the single people. I'm really going to be taking a whole lot of notes right now. Okay, so if you know a single person, well, really just share the video, because I know somebody's single on your friends list here on Facebook. We need to get to know this next lady because she really changed my life. Okay, I am single. All right. And my approach to things is a whole lot different since I met her. Okay. She is Yahoo Finance's top 10 relationship coach in 2020, international dating and relationship expert. Hallelujah. Please welcome Angela N. Holton. How are you, sis?
I love that introduction. I love it. Thank you. I'm great. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Oh, girl, listen, we're getting a workout in here. Yeah. It's a spiritual workout. It's a self-love workout. And as I explained to folks in the introduction here, I had so much to learn and I didn't even know till I met you. Mm-hmm. And you introduced me to something called conscious dating. I'm going to leave it right there for you. You could take the mic.
All right.
And just run, sis, run.
You know, I just want to echo sort of what one of the ladies was saying on your last platform about, you know, God really knowing what we need greater than we do. You know, if I had it up to me, I would have been married, been in a relationship, probably not have chosen the right partner, thinking because I wanted it so desperately that this obviously must be what I have, what I want. But God knows better. And I just want to add, if I had not gone through my trials and tribulations as a single woman, I would not have found my life purpose. I wouldn't have found the conscious dating method that I'm so passionate about, that I love sharing and inspiring people from around the world and how to see and date and cultivate relationships differently and in a more revolutionized way. None of that would have happened. So I just want to first start off by imparting trust where you are in your life. Trust the journey that you're on and know that even if it feels uncomfortable, even if you feel impatient in it, trust that there's a perfect divine unfolding. You know, I believe in the time of the waiting and the season that, you know, God is strengthening our character and preparing us for not just our partner. That's minor to God. God is preparing us for our purpose and things that are even greater. So, you know, fulfill your life if you're single, if you're feeling despair and hope, fill your life with things that make you uniquely happy before that partner comes along, because the partner can't be that ultimate source of happiness. You want partners to have their source of happiness. So I just wanted to add that piece. I know you're like, I didn't bring you on to talk about all that.
Oh, girl, whatever you are speaking on, I receive it. All right. I receive it.
Awesome. So let's talk about the conscious dating method. Well, let's talk about dating during this time of pandemic. I think it's such a powerful and wonderful, awesome time to be dating. Yes, ladies, please do not despair or feel discouraged or feel like your dating and romantic life is out of your hands and it's just left to caution in the wind. No, I want you to reclaim and take responsibility and power for your dating life and what it looks like. If you're not dating, I want you to take the ownership that it's because you're not being intentional about dating, right? If you're not dating the right person, make it about choices that we're making rather than about, oh, we're in a pandemic. Oh, we're in COVID. Oh, there are no great relationships out there. Oh, everyone's unavailable. Whatever narrative you create in your mind is the story that you're going to play in your life. So change the narrative. Dating in this pandemic is one of a kind. It's such a unique experience that we may never have again. And what makes it so unique and special is that relationships now are built from the inside out. I mean, there's people who may just go right into the physicality and, you know, take away caution of the pandemic. But if we're being safe and using some personal safety protocol, we're going to get to know someone. Right? You know, in this time of COVID, Vulnerability is beyond the emotional capacity. It's my physical health that I have to be cautious of. And am I really ready to be vulnerable with someone in my physical health? So I believe we're being called to cultivate relationships from the mental and the emotional space and delay the physical gratification. And physical, I don't mean just sex. I mean the actual physical chemistry, the ability to touch and hold and see one another. Not that that's not important. Of course, we have to see our partners and touch and feel them and see if there's physical chemistry. But oftentimes, we put so much weight into this chemistry and into this initial reaction. And if we're not instantaneously attracted to someone, we write them off. And we're writing off someone with so much great character and potential for us. And so dating during COVID and dating online and virtual dating allows us to put those things that can skew our judgment on hold just for a little bit and allow us to build relationships through communication, conversation, virtual dates that bring out different creativity and fun and laughter and connection that have nothing to do with physical intimacy. And you can build the emotional intimacy virtually and talking on the phone and online, and sure, have a social distance date. Beautiful, wonderful. And then you build these wonderful tools and strategies, and then you find out that you're physically attracted to one another. That's the icing on the cake. But my encouragement is to build from the inside. Build on the inside, get to know someone before you start swiping left and saying, give someone a chance. Let's talk about 3 tips to dating during COVID. First, you got to be out there dating, right? We have to be intentional about the things that are important to us. If you're intentional, you're going to create what you want. I can't promise you the timeline, but what we seek is seeking us. And as you move toward what you want, without a doubt, without question, what you want is moving toward you. So we have to move the barriers and the blocks and the conditioning in the mind that are keeping what we want away from us. So be intentional, and be intentional with dating during this time by deciding, how are you going to date? How are you going to increase your dating pool? Are you going to use an online dating app, a matchmaker, a speed dating service, a dating coach? Whatever it is, make a choice in something that you're going to be intentional. When we seek anything else in our lives, job, career, good health, a new car, a new home, we do investigative research, we go on job searches, we send out our resumes, we hire an executive coach, we hire a real estate broker to find our ideal home, we go to open houses, but when it comes to love, we leave it to chance. It's really important part of our lives, we leave it to just happenstance. But I want to encourage you to take control over that part of your life. If you want it, bring it. Bring it about. Take steps and move toward what you want. So if you're not on a dating app now during COVID, download 2 apps. I like Hinge. People like Bumble. There's so many of them. You can Google them, research them, talk to friends. Every one of us knows someone who's met someone who's either dated or married someone from online dating. So we know that it works. There's power in numbers. In this time of pandemic, how can we increase our numbers of dating exponentially? I mean, you can see thousands and thousands of potential dates in a day if you swipe that many. There's no other platform that allows us this. And you may hear people say, I hate online dating. I hate online dating. It's this, it's that. Well, I'm going to suggest it's whatever you create it to be. It's whatever energy you invest in it. If you say it's awful and everyone's awful on there, that's the experience we're going to have. Our mindset is the most powerful thing that we have. So change your mind to say, all I need is to meet one person. And this could be the place in which I meet that person. I'm going to date with fun and intentionality. And just be curious, right? Sometimes we swipe too quickly, too left, too right with these expectations. And that brings me to number 2. Just say yes, right? While you're swiping and you're doing these virtual dating, just say yes to the date. You're just saying yes to coffee, not a marriage proposal or exchanging vows. You're just saying yes to a connection. Start there. Because yes turns into a different yes. And maybe you meet someone that you didn't think you would connect with. But if you swipe left and say no to everyone, how do you know who you are, who your ideal partner is, what you like, what you need in a relationship? But if you are feeling disappointed and down about your dating options, I understand. But oftentimes that comes from too high of expectations of each date. If you're expecting each date to be your partner, your husband, your wife, your spouse, your companion, you're putting too much weight on it. Shift it to I'm going to date and have fun, and I'm going to look pretty for me, and I'm just going to have fun. Get to know myself, get to know someone, practice flirting, put on the red lip. That's it. But don't start planning the wedding because you might have a lot of things in common. Just take it day by day, moment by moment, virtual click by virtual click. The third tip that I'm going to suggest during COVID is to date yourself. Date you. You know, if that means putting on a pretty dress or outfit, skirt, whatever it is, light your candles, have a nice dinner for one in your home because you deserve that. We're constantly giving instructions to the world and to our partners on how to treat us by how we treat ourselves. We can't cultivate deep, meaningful love without engendering and creating that from the inside out. So date you every week. Take baths with roses and candles. Go for nice walks. Spend time in nature. Connect with your divine source. Sometimes if we want a relationship with a partner more than we want a relationship with God, God will keep that partner away. We can't desire anything more than we desire partnership with God. So spend time with in your divine source, whatever that means, however you feel connected to your source. Spend time with that every day. Journal, buy yourself flowers, candles, romance you. Whatever you're looking for in someone else, be that partner to yourself. And that's what the conscious dating method is about. And I'm just sharing 3 quick little parts of the conscious dating method. Why do we date? Why are we dating? Yes, we want that. We want to have a goal, and that end goal is to be in partnership or commitment. Whatever that is, get clarity around what you want. Whether it's friends with benefits, whether it's just someone to go to the movies with, it doesn't matter. There's no judgment. Just be clear on what you want when you're setting up that intention to start dating, and hold those standards to what you want. So you're going to date to discover who you are. Who are you? Who are we? How do we know if we're not in front of people as mirrors? Life and relationships are a mirror. So get out there, let relationships mirror parts of you that might need healing, parts of you that maybe you've rejected or you've judged, maybe parts of you haven't celebrated, maybe parts of you that you've grown and you didn't know you've grown until someone showed up and you're like, oh, wow, I feel that part of myself. Look at what's shown up as my mirror reflection. So date to learn yourself. Conscious dating method is about dating to learn who your ideal partner is. It's easy to have a list. It's easy to write things down on paper. He or she must have X, Y, Z, da, da, da. That's great. It's great in theory, and it looks great on paper in a list. But what does it look like if you haven't experienced it? Theory needs to go into practice. That's the only way that theories become, true or false, right? We have to put them into practice. So whatever you say is important to you in a relationship, go out there and have those experiences and see what those attributes and characteristics actually look like in a person. You may decide, well, this isn't as important to me as I thought it was, or this part is much more important than I thought, or vice versa. And then the third part, you date to practice and prepare for your partnership. We cannot practice relationship skills without being in a relationship, without being rubbed up against, without our peace being disturbed. How do we handle conflict and disagreements and vulnerability and intimacy and transparency, forgiveness, all these things that are going to be quiet in a relationship? How do we know our success rate of them if we're not out there practicing them? So, ladies, don't be discouraged. Get out there dating. Download your dating apps. Get an accountability partner. Get someone who's going to hold you accountable, see your blind spots, and help you not repeat the same past patterns.
Girl, you should see all the notes I have scribbled in here right now. When we were on the radio yesterday, you talked a little bit about self-love.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to break it down so that it's not just that cliche word. You know, if you love yourself, there's a sense of security that you approach all this with. So just like you're saying, you can practice dating. That's why they call it dating. You're going on dates. You know, these experiences are coming and going. There's some healthy detachment there. You know, everybody that comes in, it's not just, oh my God, it's him. He's the love of my life. And you're not asking the questions like Vonda told us. Vonda said, ask the right questions. So that piece, and I'm going to just make a confession here. I mean, y'all know I turned 50 this year. I thought I had the hang of that self-love thing, but I always can dig a little deeper in the self-love, the pool of self-love.
Yeah.
Talk a bit about that and why You know, I don't know. I guess we think since we're grown women, we're supposed to have some things figured out, but
we wouldn't be here if we had it figured out. That's why we're still here, because we're practicing life. We're literally students of life, constantly practicing relationship. Bless you. And, you know, we are constantly evolving, and we're constantly healing, and we're constantly moving through a different direction and journey in our lives from our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. It doesn't stop. But we can always check in with, how am I loving myself today? How am I feeling about myself today? You know, before we start dating, and even in your coupleness or in your marriage, you know, when you're feeling dissatisfied in your partnership or your single life, really check in with, how am I feeling about me? Am I judging myself? You know, how do I speak to myself? That self-love to me is not a hashtag. It's not a cliche. It's built on an internal security that's based on, I'm okay with who I am. I'm okay with my flaws. I speak to myself with integrity and love and compassion. I forgive myself. I know I'm imperfect. It's okay to have flaws. I don't judge my flaws. And getting to that point where we're not beating ourselves up, and we're present with our feelings and saying, kind of like you would a child or a wounded animal when they're hurt, what would you do? You wouldn't like speak with the harsh criticism. That's not how children thrive. That's not how an animal would thrive or heal. So neither do we. Our little inner heart's inner child does not heal and grow by berating it, judging it, yelling at it. It thrives in a holistic, sterile, healthy, vibrant environment. So that self-love is, you always have to be feeding yourself that. And guess what? Who benefits from that? Not just you, everyone around you, your career, your partner is going to love you for loving yourself. If you love you, your partner's like, yes. Or I've got a woman who's confident and who loves herself. She's not looking for me to fill her cup and complete her and fulfill her. She's bringing all that to the table for us. And you want a partner who's doing the same. You want a man, partner, female, whatever your partner is, to have that sense of fulfillment and joy in their life already, that you're not a source of joy.
Let's talk about the word boundaries for just a second, Angela. That's the one I had to learn. And I know somebody else in here knows what I mean. I call it falling down the rabbit hole. You like him. He's telling you what you need to hear. He's fine, cute. He's doing something, you know, and it's just, you just get pulled out to the middle of the ocean. And there's language around it. I had to learn the language around, okay, that does not work for me.
Yeah, good.
Or I'm sorry, this is not working out. It's hard to say real simple stuff.
Beautiful. And like you said, you had to practice. So that's what dating is. You get to practice exercising your boundaries. You know, if we grow up in homes where boundaries were not honored, or they may have been too fluid, we may not have learned how to protect our own space, our own boundaries. And it takes practice. Speaking your authenticity in moments when you're on a date. You know, when something doesn't feel right, if someone's violated you in any kind of way, trust that inner stirring that feels uncomfortable and say, you know, it was nice meeting you, or, you know, I don't think this is going to work, or it wasn't a great connection, or I would really appreciate if you call when blah, 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 whatever that boundary is. People want boundaries.
Yes, they do.
Children need boundaries. We all need boundaries and structure. So women, if you want to love yourself, and if you're dating men, men want women who enforce boundaries and standards. Trust me, even if they're like, oh, him and Han, they want that valued woman. They want that high quality woman who's going to push back and say, no, no, brother, you want this. This is how it has to show up as. And if it's not what they want, if they want something easier, let them go. They're not for you, right? Because you want someone who can respect your boundaries. And when you enforce your boundaries, at least in my experience, I find that the right man or men that are of integrity and value want you even more.
Come on, because that's what they're looking for, a match, a vibrational match.
Because here's the thing. Now here's what I'm going to say. Everybody check this out.
Come on, sis.
Oh, you've helped me today. Awesome. We got to go through these questions here. If you don't like who you are, okay, and you don't like boundaries for yourself, what does that say to the man about himself? A man is like, well, if she doesn't like herself, then it doesn't reflect to him that he's of good quality. He wants a woman who knows she's good quality, because it reflects to him oh, I'm good quality and I deserve her and she deserves a man like me. But if you don't like yourself, a man doesn't want to be with a woman who doesn't like himself because it says, I've lowered my standards.
And you want to make the other person step up, if anything.
Absolutely.
You know, a little challenge is a good thing, and not challenge as far as manipulation, but hey, I am here to grow into a greater version of myself.
Amen.
What are you doing here?
Yes.
You know, we're not playing games. We're not, not just somebody to go to the movies with, this is a COVID situation. There's movies on my smart TV.
Yeah.
What I want is conversation. I want growth. I want someone who's thinking and asking me the right questions.
Right.
Asking me the right questions. And let me just throw this in here since we're talking about the whole COVID situation. This is the part that changed me. You said, get on the 2 dating apps. Don't think about it. Just do it.
Just do it.
Single ladies.
You can't put too much thought behind it. I mean, yes, when I say thought behind it, I mean, don't belabor the thinking. Right? Don't spend too much time thinking about when you say you want to get into better fitness and better shape, you can lie in bed and think about which gym you're going to go to and think and think and think. You have to choose right action and move in right action. So don't think about the dating apps. Don't think about how much you don't like it. Just do it. Nike came up with the best slogan in the world. Just do it.
Do it.
Say yes. People who win in life are people who say yes.
Just do it. No, don't. That's flow. That's flow. You're not thinking, you're just doing
it. If you constantly berate, the narrative that I want to hear change is we constantly say how bad online dating is and the people that are on there. There are millions of people on dating apps around the world. So is everyone bad?
No.
Exactly. So that's the narrative that needs to change. And the second part is dating apps aren't horrible. Dating apps are a mirror reflection of us.
And let me tell you one thing, Angela. It's expanded my worldview. So getting on the app, dating lots of different people with different philosophies about life, and know that they're little mirrors of yourself. If you stay in this same pocket, it doesn't matter whether it's love or money, your career. You can't stay in one little globe. You want a big, wide worldview, and that's how you expand yourself.
I mean, you can, but if you don't want to expand and grow, you can stay in that little.
You can if you won't.
Yeah, but I mean, who doesn't want expansion, right? So open up your mind, your heart, your eyes, and just imagine what you want.
Stretch a little.
Stretch and focus on the relationship you want, what it looks like, what it feels like. How do you wake up to it every day? Not focusing on what you don't want, right? The law of attraction is real. Whether you want to believe that or not, is whatever frequency we show up as is the frequency we're going to create. So if we focus on online dating is terrible, I hate being single, I'm never going to meet anyone, I'm lonely, you're going to attract and create that experience. And if you start dating from a place of deprivation or loneliness, you're going to attract from that level as well, from scarcity. So before you start dating, I do add this caveat: check in with your mental and emotional health. Are you generally feeling good about who you are as a woman, showing up? Are you happy with your lot in life, so to speak? And if not, spend some time with her, getting to know her, nurturing her, building her up, and then going out and dating and making choices, because we attract at the level in which we believe we deserve. So if your self-esteem is not in check or you're feeling unworthy, you will attract from an unworthy place.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so tell us more about your Conscious Dating book. And you've got a whole lot of offerings that have everything to do with love. So just quickly tell us all about that so we can stay connected.
You can find everything on me. I think you put my Instagram handle on there, Angela N. Holton. And then my website is lovesanctuary.com. And I have a journal book. It's called the Conscious Dating Method Workbook Journal. And honestly, there's nothing like they're on the market right now. And it is truly a journal workbook to accompany you while you are dating, as you're getting to know yourself, right? It's approaching dating from a self-discovery place. So that's what this workbook is about. It asks you some deep questions. It's meant to unravel, reveal, and release.
And then I do the 8-week conscious dating method course, which we just started last week. So unfortunately, no one can jump in yet, but the next launch is going to be in January. I'm already going to take registrations. You can go to lovesanctuary.com. It's 8 weeks. We've got John Gray from Men Are From Mars in the course this time. I'm letting people come in and do Kundalini yoga. I mean, it is just a juicy, powerful 8-week course. You will not leave there not transformed.
Mm-hmm. We love it. We love it. Thank you so much for this. You gave us a pep talk.
Yes.
We're activated in the whatever the love chakra is. I believe that mine is activated right now. And I feel like we've got some action tips and that self-love upgrade that we needed today. Thank you so much, sis. The one and only Angela N. Holton, conscious dating and love sanctuary, and everything we need to just proceed in the love that we want.
Don't give up, ladies.
Don't give up, ladies.
Hello, Nikki Thomas and the women of KBLX. My name is Cynthia Hearn-Roy, and I'm here to stress the importance of our vote. Our vote is our way to be heard and counted, and our country needs us now more than ever. We need to cast our ballots for our families and our community. For more details, to register for Women of KBLX Vote, go to kblx.com. Let's do this.
Oh, my girl, Cynthia Hearn-Roy, thank you so much for all of this inspiration, the power of our vote. You know, like I said, we just have it sprinkled throughout the day to keep us inspired at this time. All right. So I want to send a virtual hug out right now to all of the business women who are watching on the replay, everybody on your social media list, because it's been quite a job to stay in business during a pandemic. So I thought that I would check in with Oakland's own Taylor J for a conversation about faith and business. She is one of my favorite Bay Area business women. Her name is Taylor J. How you doing, sis?
Hi, Nikki. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for taking a moment to talk with us. I think it's important for us to have these kinds of conversations right now. So for the people who are not familiar with the Taylor J brand, tell us all about that.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you for having me in the love. Taylor J Collection, we're a local brand, a women's contemporary brand. Everything is designed by me and made here in Oakland. It's a mother and daughter business. My daughter and I, we both run and operate it. We make ultra comfy clothing that works perfect for home in our current situation. And we've been in business for about almost 6 years now in Oakland. We have a storefront, brick and mortar, and we're online. Yeah.
But you had to make quite a shift when COVID happened. It was a big, crazy surprise for all of us. But I can imagine as a businesswoman, you know, what were you thinking and feeling, and what brought about the answer for you?
Right. Well, for us, you know, we had just secured a space that we had been popping up in for about 6 months on Broadway. Mm-hmm. And so just the top of the year, we're like, okay, we're going to make this a permanent location, flagship store. And we had all these events on the calendar. So it was like, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? Like, we have this new overhead, we can't open. And it was just really an emotional, fearful time, you know, from like myself and then my daughter. And of course, my fellow friends that are entrepreneurs, most of my friends are entrepreneurs. It's just, I had a lot of emotions. But what I quickly thought of was like, hey, right now we need to be safe, we need to be covered. And so I had a lot of leftover fabric, cotton from my previous collection, the cotton collection in 2019. And so I made a really comfortable mask that didn't require any wiring. It was very comfortable, just like our clothing. And I made it and shot some pictures of myself actually in it. And it just did really well. And people received the face covers and we were featured. So that was the first step to really pivoting and keeping our business, you know, strong and actually making it stronger.
So the world responded quite nicely to this pivot that you created in your business. So I've been seeing you everywhere, sis, everywhere. Yeah. You know, how did that happen? Was it just like a divine intervention, or did you just start putting yourself out there? I've seen the Ellen piece. Ellen gave you a shout out. And Also, Prince Harry is walking around in a Taylor J mask. Hallelujah.
Right. Praise God. You know me, I'm super like, I give God all the glory. I will never stop. And I will say that God has been our original business partner through this entire time. He has been making all the deals. He has been making all the doors open, and he is walking with us and leading us. And I can say nothing else. There is no luck. It is God. And we feel very blessed. So,
wow. It's gotta be, because you said you have no idea how Prince Harry.
No, literally someone DM'd me on Instagram and said, hey, we're on this thread on Twitter, and we're not really heavy on Twitter. So they were like, we're on this thread on Twitter, and there was a post with a photograph of Prince Harry, and it said, can someone identify the mask that he's wearing? And people were on there saying, oh, that's a Taylor J mask, because we have a lot of people wearing them. And so they asked me to like identify the mask. And I said, oh yeah, that's ours. That's champagne and honey. And from there, it just kind of went on, and people started sharing it. And, it's just, we're still getting a lot of attention from it. It's definitely faith. I mean, it's faith. And, I always say it's God's plan.
Your words have inspired us in our lives and in our businesses this morning. And this is what the Women of KBLX is about, just coming together because we really heal and transform each other.
If you're in Oakland, our location is 2355 Broadway in Oakland.
Awesomeness. Taylor J right here in Oakland, just a little bit of inspiration for the women who are entrepreneurs and creators and are holding on during this pandemic. All it takes is faith and a pivot. Do I need to turn in another direction and do a little something else? We're so proud of Taylor, and I love her clothes. I love her work, and I love the fact that she is just inspiring all of us in our work. Thank you so much, Taylor J. All right, fam. So up next, the other thing that we got to talk about is education. Again, COVID has given us a whole new lifestyle right now. And our next guest will give us some insight on how to navigate these waters in our new roles as parents/educators, because that is what we have become nowadays, correct? Toby C. Scruggs Hussein is a visionary educator, author, and award-winning urban high school principal with over 25 years of emotional intelligence training. She believes that in order to successfully transform schools, organizations, and the cultures that we lead, we must first successfully transform ourselves. Please welcome Toby Scruggs Hussein. How are you today, sis? You look amazing.
Oh, thank you. I had to unleash the curls to be with the other curl queen in the room. So
unleash, honey, unleash all of the fluff.
Yes, all of it.
I love it that it says Goddess at Work, because you look like Goddess at Work. And if before I even give you the mic, I'm going to say that I love to watch other sisters do work that they love. And on a personal tip, it was a block for me, radio. And then there are like the other things that I do. I had to, I struggle so much with the worthiness in that. And there are 1,000 words that somebody could come and tell me, but just watching you do your work has been everything. I'm going to shut up right now and let you talk to us. Our segment with Toby is called Schoolish: 5 Ways to Be a Parent Champion Now. Honey, I am all ears.
Well, thank you so much, and greetings to the women of KBLX. And Nikki, it's really a pleasure to be with you today and the whole KBLX family. So, schoolish, what is going on with school? Now parents are expected to do so much more than have ever been called before in so many ways. And it's important, really, that the lens that we use, that I use, is around talking to our Black families and other families of color. And what does it mean for us to be parent champions and truly partner with our children's schools And again, now we are the executive partners with our children's schools. Schooling is not happening without the families at home. And so the first thing that I really have been beginning my talks with since the pandemic is this critical piece around understanding our neurobiology and our physiology around stress and resilience and our emotional wellness. Because the way that our brains work and our bodies work impacts how our executive function works, how well we're able to take in information and learn, and how well our children are able to take in information and learn. And a brain does not learn when it's dysregulated. And right now, since we're in a pandemic, we're under high stress, our minds and our brains are dysregulated. What's been happening often is that we're learning to make this a new normal, but we are still not normal and operating under normalcy. And our bodies and minds are showing this. That's why the rise for self-care is so huge right now. And this rise for needing to be more resilient is so huge right now. And so tip number 1 of the 5 tips that I'm giving to families today is emotional wellness first. By all means, emotional wellness before education. We have to limit the emotional contagion and toxicity in our homes through the news that's coming in, through the adult conversations that our children may be exposed to, arguments, money, things like that. We have to be sure that we are what Nadine Burke-Harris calls a caring adult buffer. And for those of you who don't know, she's the California Surgeon General who focuses quite a bit on pediatrics, children, and trauma. And right now we are in a traumatizing time in our history and in our lives, and our children are needing skills to be more resilient. And so we cannot not be in support of their greatest emotional wellness. And so what can this look like? It can look like us giving them more hugs, us giving them more words of assurance and positivity. It looks like when we are meditating and taking that time to sit and be still and anchor to our breathing and our breath, that maybe we're sitting with them in our lap, or we're sitting cross-legged in our yoga position or whatnot, and they're sitting connected to us. So the breath is happening together and they're feeling that deep sense of connection, because that deep sense of connection actually triggers the brain, the insula part of our brain, which then calms the amygdala, which is the survival panic part of the brain, which then connects to the prefrontal cortex, which allows for clear thought, clarity, and the ability to learn. So if our kids are not in a calm and peaceful space, they're not learning as much. Tip number 2, you don't need to do this alone. Work with other parents, partner with other parents. See, what has started to happen as our community has become sort of fractured through the school system is that we've lost this village framework around what it means to co-educate our children as a village and community. And we as Black families and parents of color need to work together. So some people can be putting together activities or a lesson plan for this week or the next few days, and someone else is working on the next few days. Don't carry this load alone. It's already too much to carry. So don't take it on alone. So start reaching out, and you talk to your child's principal and your child's teacher, and you start asking for the types of requests that say, you know what, connect the families, connect us. We can be working together. There's no need to be fragmented as a school community because we're further fragmented in our homes. So you have to start being that voice of reason and rationale and letting the schools know, what is it that you need? What is it that you want? The schools work for you. They work for you. We have got to remember that. And when we talk about, I was a principal for 17 years. I knew who I was there to serve, families and children. Okay. The other adults are there for people I manage and can lead, but I'm serving families and children. So they're in service of you all. Remember that. The third tip, remediate. Use this time to fill in some of the learning gaps that your child may have had when we entered this pandemic time. And remember that learning loss in some ways has occurred, but not in all ways. Our children are learning critical life skills right now by being at home more and being with us more. So use almost every opportunity that you're with your child to teach them something vital, because our schools were not teaching our children life skills, and they definitely weren't teaching Black children and children of color life skills. And I love this quote by Stephen Biko that keeps it really in perspective. The most potent weapon in the hands of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. We as the adults have to control the narrative of the minds that is for our children. We have to serve as the counter narrative. That's why Black curriculum is so important. Black content is so important. Black teachers and leaders so important. Because the narrative that our children are getting must be a narrative that fuels their self-esteem, their wellness, their sense of belonging and being, so that they don't deal with the internalized oppression that so many of us deal with as being not enough and having to prove. We have an opportunity to shift that. Fourth tip, read together. Literacy, literacy, literacy is everything. And I tell families this all the time. We have got to read with our children, and not just to our children. Notice I'm not saying read to your children. Read with your children. Sometimes that's reading to your children if they're too young to read. But with your children, meaning you're modeling literacy. You're modeling pleasure reading. So sit on the couch together and again, feed that emotional wellness through literacy. Spend time together reading. Use the library service. Buy Black books. And so when you're sitting on the couch and you're reading your magazine and you're reading your book, just 20 minutes to just sit there and be together, socks on, touching toes, touching feet, and your child's on the other end of the couch reading, or maybe there's a few of you cuddled up on the couch reading your different books. Light a candle, light some incense, and just chill. Let that nervous system relax, and you all connect, and you model the importance of literacy. And then I'll close with this before we open up for some Q&A. My fifth tip, dream together. Dream, dream, dream together. Do not stop visioning the future. Do not allow your child to think that this is so paramount and so huge with the pandemic, with the racial injustice, with this political scene. I'm not even going to touch that. That all of this is happening and our children are picking up on this. And it's scary to them because it's scary to us. So it's scary to them. So you have to dream with them and let them know this is just a point of time that we are moving through. Stay focused on college. Stay focused on that trade that you want. Stay focused on the career that you see for yourself. Make those vision boards. Read and research the colleges that your child is interested in, or plant that seed of colleges for your children. Plant that seed. Read biographies and do career research about the things your child wants to do. Get on Facebook and say, you know what? Who are my Black veterinarians out there? Who are my Black eye doctors out there? Who are the Black dentists? I need you to get online with you for 15 minutes with my child and talk about your career with them. Keep your child inspired. Keep them focused. Keep them knowing why school still makes sense. Because it's helping to fuel their future. And so there are ways that we can partner with the schools and make sense of all the work that we're giving them. But if you follow these 5 tips, you will be creating and cultivating a well-rounded child, and one that feels more whole than what a system that is not fully designed to serve them and won't fully serve them. You have got to make up the difference. So again, the 5 tips: emotional wellness first. Work with other parents to divide and conquer. Remediate. Use this time to fill in some of those gaps. 4, read together. Read to your child and with your child. And 5, dream together. Continue to dream, vision a future, move forward, and keep things bright for your child. And tell them how much you love them.
Oh, wow. Tovi, this is amazing.
Thank you.
This is amazing. God is at work for real. I wrote down all the steps. Good. And they were all just great reminders. We've got, all the things in our brains right now. And, when we open up our energy and you step in and give us just the little prompts, that's really what it's a prompt.
Yes.
To step forward into action. This is great. The reading together and dreaming together. I don't know. That you're talking right to me. You're talking to me.
Good.
And we have a question here from our sister, Kimberly Wingfield.
Okay.
How can parents help little people? I've been hearing this one a lot. 3 to 5 years old, focus better during Zoom.
Yeah, that's a tough one. The attention span of our children is already short as it is. And so a lot of times we're not using the neuroscience, and nor are our teachers. And so even bringing that to the attention. And so our little people focusing on Zoom, sometimes you can give them something to hold in their hand. Like sometimes I talk and I'm holding this crystal. Just it gives me something to hold, because there's not enough textile things, because it's a screen. So you don't have the same classroom effect. So give them something to hold and fidget with in their hands, because that will help get some of the movement going there. And then also things should just be shorter for that age range on Zoom. They really can't be on Zoom that long, but definitely have them hold something.
I love that. There was another sister on Instagram who's talking about embodiment.
Yes.
And I had never put the 2 and 2 together. She said we could talk about mindset all day, but there are things, it's in your body.
Yes.
So when you're talking about having the babies hold something, it's like something soothing for their physical bodies, something to touch and hold on to, when they're trying to, make contact on Zoom. I just can't even imagine, being at that age, trying to, again, feeling safe, and just being in a space where that's where, they're expected to learn. So it's a lot. Just giving them that piece of comfort is a big one, Comment here from Trisha. Thank you for emphasizing the social, emotional needs of the family first and foremost.
Absolutely.
And foremost. I had to stand up somewhere and say the exact same thing. I said, you know what? Education is great, but it comes after safety.
Yes.
After safety, and just the emotional wellness first. You got us all together, Tovi.
Good.
You got us all together. Let me check. I think we got some new comments.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Parent. Oh my goodness. Okay. So Keisha is back. She says, how do you deal with when the parents are inappropriate during the Zoom? Oh no.
Oh, wow. Well, again, when we have a parent community, then our parents can speak to each other and follow up about things. There's also ways to have a teachable moment, maybe just modeling, sometimes saying, this happened on Zoom, and there are other ways that we can deal with this situation. And then maybe give a scenario or options of 2 or 3 things of other ways that could have been more appropriate. So then the parent is getting some ideas without being direct. Like you're not really correcting the person, but you're just giving examples of what other alternative actions can be, other alternative responses. And so in a sense, you're modeling as you teach. And I say teach because I feel like we're all teaching. At this point, we're all teaching. in one way or another.
Oh,
Yes.
wow. We're doing some real work out here as parents.
Absolutely.
Right now. And thank goodness for you. So I see your book back there. And so if you want to dig a little bit more, she gave us just a little touch, a little tease, 5 great things to prompt us. Tell us more about your book and where we can find it.
Wonderful. Thank you, Nikki. The book is Parent Champion, How to Be a Partner with Your Child's School. You can find it on Amazon, and it's there. I'm coming out with another edition that will support some of what we're going into now, but don't wait on that because this book is still relevant. It was written in 2014 and it's still doing well. I'm still speaking to parent groups and still bringing it because it's integrated, much like also the other comment around social emotional learning. Social emotional learning works really well when it is integrated into the academics. That's why we have to understand the embodiment piece, Nikki. We have to understand the neuroscience piece because it's not like academics and then the safety and wellness. How are they blended? It's absolutely critical that it's blended.
This is amazing. Okay. And we want to absolutely keep up with her. You can follow her. Is it TICIESS.com?
Yes, TCS.com.
Okay. I love it. And Goddess at Work on Instagram. So, that says so much to us. Goddess at Work, that I'm out here doing the real work, giving us the real prompts and not just the information. Information is one thing, but it's like when you get, it's a positive trigger into action to remember all these things that we, like I said, we know it, but we forget. We get busy and, we'll forget everything. And so you also said you wanted to bless somebody with your book today?
I do want to bless someone with my book today. And I'm actually going to do 2 because I am loving the engagement that I'm seeing from Keisha's Collections and Kimberly Winkfield. So I would love to send each of them a book. So if you all tag me on Instagram, I will reach out to you through that and I can get your mailing address and be sure to send you an autographed copy of the book.
Ooh, autographed copy. Is it going to sign Goddess? Love Goddess. I love it. Thank you for your amazing energy. Thank you for this. This is real work right here. It's digging deeper into layers that everybody's not ready to go in. And we thank you so much for this great session. Toby Scruggs, Goddess at Work, how to be a parent champion right now. This is so important. Thank you so much for being with us, Toby.
Thank you again for having me. It's a pleasure, KBLX family. Take care, ladies. Take care.
Awesomeness. Oh, we're doing some great work in here today. Whew. Oh my goodness. Oh, Kathy says it's a great Christmas gift. I think so. Because education is at the forefront right now of the work that we're doing as parents. So I think that's an excellent idea to have a Christmas gift with a few of these prompts right here. Okay. So we still have plenty left to go, but of course, that positive trigger, that reminder about the power of our vote.
Hello, ladies of KBLX. My name is Taylor J, and I'm here to talk to you about voting. This year, more than any other year, it is so important for each and every one of us to exercise our right to vote. Your vote is your voice for your family and your community. Get out and vote, because the KBLX women, we vote. For more details, go to kblx.com. Much love to you all.
Taylor J is back. This is so amazing. Okay, so if you were with us last year at our Women of KBLX, remember like pre-COVID when we could get together in person and shake hands and hug and stuff? Back then, we had a great moment where there was a young woman who stood up and instant connection, and she got some instant mentoring with our media mogul, Paula Reyna. So I thought that we would check back in with Paula and see how that was going. Okay, so if you were with us at Women of KBLX last year, remember pre-COVID, when we could actually be together in person, we had a wonderful moment where one of our great guest speakers did an instant mentoring with a young lady who was at Women of KBLX. And we thought we would check in to see how that went. So I grabbed her and brought her back in for Women of KBLX, the wonderful Paula Reyna of Reyna Media Agency. Thank you for being back with us.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so tell us what happened after. I remember it was a young lady. She had her own business and she needed some marketing help. And you just instantaneously jumped in and said, I will help you.
Yeah, so that happened. And it obviously wasn't planned, you know, it's just in that moment. So yes, correct. So Brene was the young lady who was at the event last year, and she has an eyelash. She's trying to start an eyelash e-commerce business.
Mm-hmm.
And she was stuck. She didn't know what to do. She just needed help. And, you know, I've been there, I've been there in the beginning when I was around her age. I remember working at Sam Goody Music Store. I was, just, a kid in college in the late 90s in San Francisco. And I used to have record music, reps come in and out, and I became friends with them. And I really didn't know how to get into it. And then one day I just, asked one of them from Interscope Records if I could intern. And she immediately said, yes, come next week. So when Brene, came up, and, started speaking, and it just reminded me like, gosh, I wish, someone would give me that, like instantly too, when, when I was her age. So that's
wow
how that came about. And I just, I had to help her.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay. So, but she made a whole lot of progress, I'm hearing, after you guys started working together.
So the thing with her was once, I dug a little deeper, was she didn't have the business side of things intact. So the marketing, couldn't start right away.
Right.
So, and, the business, legalities and, logistics, that's the foundation. And so what I started to do with her was just more of an entrepreneur mentorship. And we did that until about right before the pandemic hit. And so some of the things that we were able to help her with was vendorizing. So I explained to her how to look into vendors for her eyelashes. Instead of, buying them retail, she can buy them wholesale to at least save 75% of wholesale value and sell them at a higher price so she can get more return on her investment. The next thing we had her do was get disclaimers going. I explained to her that sometimes people might be allergic to certain materials, to make sure that she has a disclaimer, for her stuff on her website as well. I explained to her how to do a payment gateway system for her website as well, because one of the things she wanted to do is, she needed help with her website. So, she needed help, but she still wanted to design it herself, which was really good. So the one thing that we helped her with was more of the legal side of things.
And where can we find Brene in her business, or is she not out there yet?
She's not on. She's not blasting social media just yet, because she wants to have everything that we just talked about in place
together.
And she's almost there. But I will give you guys an update once everything is launched.
All right. We are just covering all the bases here. It's Nikki Thomas. Thank you for joining us. This is our third annual Women of KBLX Virtual Empowerment Forum. Let me take that back. This is the first virtual, but we will do the work every year. All right. So, let's just sit here in this great space because we have gotten some great prompts right now. Okay. Great energy, faith, spirit, inspiration in our lives and in our businesses, and connection to know that you're not alone. This is why we do this event, to let you know that you're not alone. We amplify each other as sisters. We transform and we heal each other when we come in community. So let's go ahead and seal the deal. Toby just told us about embodiment and the movement of the body, the movement of the breath, how powerful it is. So what I prepared for you today is a soul power self-love session. Now, if you're in a place where you can join us, go for it. I got my little, I'm sitting here cross-legged in my living room in my creative space. If you're watching the replay, that's awesome. Or if you can just pause where you are. We're just going to be reaching a little bit, but it'll be super quick. It is a simple flow and meditation. We're going to move, we're going to breathe, and we're going to activate and amplify our self-love today. So if you guys are ready, I see you, Keisha's Collections. I know I feel uplifted right now. Okay. So let me just stay focused. Y'all know I'm an air sign. I lose my focus so quickly. Okay. So here we go. So let's come into a comfortable space. Relax the shoulders down. Zoom in on your breath and how fabulous it is to be alive today, right now. We're going to focus on the current moment. Let's go ahead and breathe here. You might have to remind those shoulders to relax down a little more. Tell those shoulders, come on down. Release all the stress. The answers are here. The resources. The sisterhood is here for you right now. Breathe into that. The pandemic stopped the world, but it cannot stop the love that we give each other as women. Let's take another deep breath here. So if you're seated, go ahead and put your hands on top of your knees, and you're going to grind your stomach in a circle. Right? You're just going to draw a big circle. We always do the spinal flexes. Always do the spinal flexes. Why? Because you're only as young as your spine is flexible. Hallelujah. Okay, I hope you're doing it with me. I see you, Kathy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for bringing your great energy. Just keep breathing and keep moving, enjoying the breath and the movement. And you might hear a few pops and cracks. That is the spine realigning itself. We're waking up our energy. So as you circle back, you're going to push your tailbone into the floor, into the mat. All right? Keep breathing. And go the other way. Oh, wow. A few things are popping over here. A few things. Go ahead and close your eyes and enjoy. All right, let's come back to center. Bring the palms together. Inhale, interlace the fingers. All right, exhale, you're going to round the spine and straighten those arms out. Everybody got that? Go ahead and sink all the way down. Round the back, round the spine. And inhale, bring the arms all the way up. Reach up, reach up, reach up, lengthen the spine. Exhale. Let the fingertips fall back down, hands back into prayer. Breathe and receive. Breathe and receive. Go ahead and place your hands on your shoulders. All right, you can put the thumb behind the shoulder and let the fingers fall in the front. And we're just going to twist back and forth. Just inhale one side and exhale the other side. Now again, we're realigning. Our twists here just kind of wake things up in the spine. I know you feel it happening right now. Just breathe. Enjoy the breath, enjoy the movement. And let's bring it back to neutral. Leave the hands where they are. And see if you can lift the elbows up. Lift the elbows up and down. You're going to have to rotate the hands a little bit, but go ahead and bring the elbows all the way up. And exhale, bring it back down. Release the hands down. Let's go ahead and inhale the arms up, reach up and radiate. So, you know, so many times we work out and it's like a cosmetic thing. This is an energetic thing. You know, those fingertips, that embodiment that we just talked about. Let's just reach up, radiating. Reach up, radiating through the fingertips. Go ahead and separate the arms in a V here. This is our victory. Go ahead and look up and breathe and receive. Breathe and receive. Bring the palms back together and release the palms down right here at the heart center. Go ahead and press the palms together. So you're going to bring your elbows. You're going to bring your elbows apart and press the palms together. You know, when we pray and bring our palms together, but we're intentionally putting a little pressure here. Our hands being our spiritual antenna. This symbolizes our divine union, ladies. Gesture of reverence. To each one I meet, I affirm our essential unity. We are essential unity. Thank you, Tricia. Essential. We are essential to each other. Just breathe here. There is no trick to meditation. Be in the moment and breathe. Be right here, right now. So good to be alive. So good to be connected virtually today. So good to be supported and loved. So good to be a creator. The things I need, I create in my life. Take a deep breath here, family. Go ahead and extend the arms straight out. Let that light radiate from the fingertips. Go ahead and bring the arms across. Left arm on top. Give yourself a big hug. Grab those shoulder blades if you can. Make it really real. Just breathe here because everything is all right now. You can sink your chin down. Feeling that life force, feeling the activation, the amplification. Go ahead and release that self-love. Now you can release it out to the world. Spread those radiant fingertips and bring the hands back together in our divine union. Go ahead and shake it out a little bit. I hope you're feeling wonderful right now. That is what I call my soul power self-love session. At any time, you can change the energy in your personal space, in your personal body. At any time, you can embody love, self-love, and that wonderful energy. All right? Take a deep breath, understanding that you're a little bit different than you were at 11 o'clock this morning or whatever time we started in your time zone, and that we're creating change right now. We're doing it together. All right? So let's go back and talk a little bit about the power of our vote.
Hello, women of KBLX. This is Mayor Libby from Oakland, asking you to lift every voice and vote. As women, we are connected to our communities, to our families, and that is why our voice is needed right now more than ever. Lift your voice and vote.
No lies detected, Mayor Schaaf. Lift your voice and vote. It's really that simple, and I think all of us can agree on that. So who decides the future? We do. We do. You matter, be heard, and make sure that your family and friends and community send in their ballots early. I see a lot of folks doing this, getting the ballots in there ASAP, or vote in person on November 3rd. You can text the word DREAM to 97483 to find out how to increase the power of your vote. And of course, a special thanks to our sponsor, DREAMCORPS.
Hi, this is Van Jones. Now, you guys probably see me as somebody who's on TV a lot. I want you to know that I'm not just a talking head. I'm actually a part of a pretty phenomenal organization and a movement called the Dream Corps. We have Green for All, which bridges the divide every day between grassroots communities and environmental solutions. We've got Yes We Code, which is bridging the divide between tough neighborhoods and Silicon Valley, creating jobs. And we also have Cut 50, which even on an issue as tough as criminal justice is bridging the divide between Republicans and Democrats. We want to re-inspire millions of people who do not accept that we should make America hate again.
You know what? I feel like we did what we came here to do. The Women of KBLX Virtual Empowerment Forum. You see how just a couple hours together as women gets us in our power and activates us and gets us so ready to be a parent champion, to love ourselves, to get out here and date, or to strengthen our marriages. So many things that we've done. So many great intentions. Thank you, Keisha. You've been with us this whole time. Okay. Are you supposed? Yes. Y'all couldn't see me the whole time. I was dabbing the corners of my eyes with little tissues. Tovi brought me to some places. Angela brought me to some places. The Real Wives of Radio brought me to some places. So here's a little reminder here. Be sure to share this video. It's going to be available to view after the event. You can watch the replay. I know some people were checking in and saying, hey, I'm driving. I can't do these exercises with you. Hey, share it to your page so you don't forget. You can't forget your self-love session. You can do that every day. And just bring it all back. Just bring it all back. Thank you, Tammy. You are one of the ladies of KBLX because you're one of the ladies of the KBLX Nation. All right. So that's somebody in one of our groups right there. Thank you for amazing self-love meditation. You can always bring it back. The truth is that you're okay. And that love is always there. You forget, but you just bring it right back. You forget, but you bring it right back. That's all it is to it. So I want to thank everyone for being a part of this. It is not a one-way situation because it's a circle of energy. You brought your great energy to the table today. All these ladies brought their great energy to the table, and we did some work. So keep on digging, KBLX Nation. Keep on working on yourselves. Keep on working in your communities and stay connected. So quick reminder, if you're watching the replay, if you're watching this later, you can still register. Go to KBLX.com and find the Women of KBLX page. Register so that you can receive your Women of KBLX digital swag bag. Okay? Just because we went virtual does not mean we're going to stop hooking you up. We got a digital swag bag, which includes a directory of all of our guests. If you want to keep in contact with all of the women, they are coaches, they're experts, they're healers that can help you in your life in some way. And also a free gift for me, because y'all, I stay in community with women and I love to just create expansion experiences. So I definitely would love to stay in touch and look for that in your inbox next week. Thank you, Taylor and Paula and Kimmy and Vonda and Roz, Dolores, Angela, Tovi, all of the women who've spent time with us. Special love to Sterling James and Miranda Wilson, who will always be family. My name is Nikki Thomas, your afternoon host on 102.9 KBLX. Listen on the KBLX app or at KBLX.com. Check me out 3 to 8, Monday through Saturday. Yes, I'm going to be on the radio today. Yes, I am. And 10 to 3 on Sundays on 102.9 KBLX R&B and old school. Oh, look at all this wonderful energy in here. I'm loving you back, Kimberly Winkfield. Just loving you back, sister. I see you, Juanita. Thank you. This has been an amazing experience. And again, it's been an honor to serve as your host. 3rd annual Women of KBLX Empowerment Forum. Wow. Thank you guys and have a great rest of your day. As a matter of fact, make it great. Nikki Thomas, the Women of KBLX. We love you.